it's Yesenia. Welcome back to my channel, Budget with Books and Makeup. On this YouTube channel, I am talking about my financial journey. I am currently in my mid-30s trying my hardest to clean up the giant financial mess that I made in my early 20s. So if this is content that appeals to you, please like, please comment, and please subscribe. Hi everyone, I am back. It is currently Friday. What's today? The 22nd. I got paid today. And we have 11 days left in the school year. I am barely hanging on by a very, very small thread. It's very thin. Doesn't exist. I'm just going to say that way. So today is going to be kind of a financial goals update and what I have planned for the future and how I'm going to achieve this. There goes my dog. So first off, I do want to talk about, because I briefly mentioned it in my last video, about my current job situation. My principal quit a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, so we're kind of in a hot mess situation at work because not only is our contract expiring this July, but our principal quit, so we're trying to look for a new one. We're trying to bargain for a new contract. We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. And listen, there's a whole story behind that. I don't want to divulge too many details. Okay. I don't want to divulge too many details about what happened at work, why my principal chose to quit. I completely understand why I actually sat in on the meetings at work. So at work we have a committee, it's called the Professional Solutions Committee. So there's a small group of teachers, I think there's 6 of us, and we meet with the administrator once a month. Teachers bring us issues and problems that are currently happening in our school. We take these issues to our administrators and we come together and work to an agreed upon solution that works best for both parties, because we do have to take into consideration the CBA contract and all these things. So we are currently meeting with our acting assistant principal, also who, by the way, only started 3 months ago. Yeah, she only started three and a half months ago. So we have someone brand new running the show. Yay! So I actually have been sitting in on these meetings because this is kind of a problem. We do have issues coming up now. We need to figure out a game plan to, 1, finish off the school year, graduate the seniors, figure out who needs to go to summer school and the master schedule for next year. We also have some teachers who are leaving and we need to hire new teachers. Guys, it's a hot mess. I don't know how else to put it. I don't know what else to say. We are currently in a hot mess situation right now. So I honestly don't know what work is gonna look like next year. I told my advisory I plan on staying 1 more year, and if things don't look good at the end of the next school year, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. So that's where we're at right now. I know that's not directly tied to my finances and my financial goals. No, scratch that. It is, because in order to reach my financial goals, I kind of need a job. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted on that as well, because it's gonna be a rough couple of months and it's gonna be a rough school year. So that's where we're at right now. Now, as for financial goals, I do have some financial goals that I want to achieve this year, and I can achieve at least 3 of them. So this is where I currently stand when it comes to finances. I'm currently working 2 jobs. I work my full-time teaching job, and then I work my part-time group exercise job at the gym. I do live in Chicago. I do kind of live in a more affluent neighborhood. So that's where I am at. I'm currently bringing in, on average, about $6,500 a month between both jobs. My current financial situation, my first savings goals is I would like to completely fund my 6-month emergency fund at $18,000. And I'm gonna achieve that in July. I just sent $826 to my emergency fund today because we got paid today, and I always do that first. Whenever I get paid, I send money to savings, I send money to retirement, and then I send money to debt. That gets taken care of first. This paycheck, since it's pretty bill heavy, so I hardly have any bills come out for the first paycheck. So I send my entire retirement, my sinking funds, pay the debts, and I get to send more money because I have more money available. So the second paycheck, I typically just focus on 1, because all the bills come out this paycheck. So actually I did my paycheck update, $2,011 for the bills, because literally it's everything: the rent, the electric bill, the gas bill, my insurance, you know, all these things came out today, and I already paid the ComEd bill, the electric bill, and I already paid the gas bill and my phone and internet bill. So that got paid today. And I did send the money to my 6-month emergency fund. So that is one goal I would love to achieve this year. And like I said, I can achieve it by July. I already crunched the numbers. The second goal that is under that one, and these are my priorities. So this is actually my money journal. I put money thoughts in here. So I track my budget in here, and then I write down money thoughts, things, plans in this notebook. My mom gave me this notebook for Christmas. It was a Grinch theme at her apartment, so this was in here. So I just figured, like, instead of just keeping all these thoughts in my mind, let me just write all these thoughts down, and then that way I can stay focused and stay on track. So let me actually go over the last one. Here it is. So it was an April money update because I was looking at my finances and I was trying to think of what was the best way to attack my goals and what is a priority right now. I was originally sending like a little money everywhere, and I was making progress, but I was not making progress as quickly as I wanted to. So my savings, it was fine. Like it was getting there. The debt, I did chip away a lot at the debt. I am now down $3,500 for my debt. For those who don't know, I unfortunately went back in debt, and this was a necessity. I had a car situation. I had two choices: either buy a new engine for my car, which was $10,500, or buy a new car. I chose the cheaper option, which was just to buy a new engine, and I'm so glad I did that option because these new cars are just not it. They're just not it, and I was not here for it. So my car is a 2015. She's a little old, and you know what? With the brand new engine, I've had no issues. So I think it was just a poorly constructed engine when I first got her. And yes, listen, I put a $10,000 piece of hardware into my car, knowing damn well it's probably only worth $2,000 at this point. I don't care. It was the cheaper option, and I want to achieve other financial goals. And if I bought a new car, it was not gonna happen right now. And I want it to kind of happen right now. So that's where I'm sitting at with the debt situation. And then the third goal that I want to start saving for and achieving soon is putting a down payment on my first home. I've been wanting to do this for so long. I kind of feel like, so when I was in college, I saw this, like, you know, oh, okay, you know, I'm gonna graduate college, I'm gonna get my degree, I'm gonna get a job, I'm gonna buy the home. And once I lost my first job, and then got a new job, and then took a big pay cut, had to stay at home, moved out on my own for the first time. And then I started realizing what it really took to live on my own. And then COVID happened, or what is it? Am I supposed to? Well, I'm not even monetized, so whatever. So all this stuff happened, the economy, I really saw my dream slowly slipping away as the years got on because all these things were happening. Now I can kind of see it, and I am so excited. So the first goal is to fully fund my 6-month emergency fund, which would be $18,000 for me. I do understand, because that's my situation right now, I would need to up it when I move into my home, because then I'm gonna have other expenses added. So I currently don't have a water bill, I don't have a trash bill, like all those things are included in my rent. So I gotta factor those things in as well. So as I was going through this year and figuring out things and realizing I was making progress, but I wasn't making progress as fast as I wanted to, I decided to shift gears. So the 6-month emergency fund is my priority right now because my debt is on a credit card at 0% interest for 15 months. And I'm definitely gonna pay it off before the period ends. I actually have that planned, and I'm gonna talk about that too. I would, especially considering my situation Now, I definitely know it's a good idea to get rid of the debt, but I do want to have a safety cushion first. And I did chip away a big chunk of the debt away. So my 6-month emergency fund should be fully funded by mid-July. That's the goal. The next goal after that is to finish paying off the credit card. I really want that stupid thing to stop looming over my head. Once I got a taste of being debt free, I kind of want to stay that way. So I have like $6,900 left on that credit card to pay off. So I am currently putting a minimum of $1,500 into my savings right now. That's the goal every month, so I can reach the ultimate goal by mid-July. I am still sending $500 to retirement because I really want to beef up my retirement. I think I said in a previous video, my pension barely has 60 grand in it, and I've been teaching for 11 years. So there's no way I can live off my pension when I retire. So I need another basket, so to speak, so I can put some eggs in there too, and then those eggs can grow. So I'm still sending $500 to my Roth IRA, and actually the potential every single month when I put the $500 in there keeps going up by like 10 to 20, 15 something. It keeps going up. So the potential for it to grow just keeps growing as I keep putting more money in there. So that's just an ongoing thing. That's just going to be, a thing I want to keep because it's retirement. Got to save for retirement. Shoot, I did, and I'm glad I have this out. So I completely forgot, once I am done funding my 6-month emergency fund, I'm gonna fully pay off my iPad and just get that done and over with. I think I got like less than $400 left on it. So I'll just pay that off and get rid of that, because technically speaking, it is a debt, but it's so small, I kind of don't count it. But it's still getting the minimum obligatory $68 per month, because that's the monthly payment plan. But that's also at 0% interest because I use my Apple Card to finance that. So once the 6-month emergency fund has been fully funded, I will tackle that next, just get rid of it. And then I'm gonna tackle the debt. I did the math, so I should have the debt paid off. Look, you guys, I did the calculations. I think I should have that paid off because I'm gonna then put the whole $1,500 that was going into the savings, and then I'm going to put that towards the debt. So I think I have by September or October, the credit card should be completely paid off by then too. And then that's one less thing I have to worry about. And then here is the big kicker. So the next goal is to start saving for the down payment on my house. And I don't want a home, on a condo. I don't want a house, don't want to be responsible for mowing lawns. I'm allergic to grass, so I would have to hire someone to mow my lawn. And it's just me and my dog. I don't see a reason to buy a big home or even a moderately sized home because I don't plan on having kids. I just really want my family to be me, my dog, whoever my future partner is, and any other animals I would like to take in. I don't want to have kids, so I don't want to take up a big home and take that opportunity away from another family. I can't believe they were serious. So I talked to coworkers about my goals and all these things, and I said like, oh yeah, I just want a nice 1 or 2 bedroom condo, 2 bedrooms at the max. And then he said, one of my coworkers, he said, oh, why don't you want to have like 4 to 5 homes or 4 to 5 rooms? I'm like, well, I don't want kids. He's like, well, why? Your other family members can come and live with you. I'm like, that's why I only want 1 or 2 bedrooms. No, I have moochers in my family. I do not want to provide a space where people can just come in and then just stay put and then never leave, because I can totally see some of my family members doing that. So that's not even a thing. I have my reasons. Listen, hey, if you are in a family and you all live in one home and it works for you guys, great. I need my space. I can't. I need to be alone. That's a topic for a different day. But anyway, so that's why I just want a 1 or 2 bedroom condo here in Chicago. And I already started doing some research. I really do not want to go above $300,000. That way it'll keep the mortgage in the price range that I would love. I don't want my mortgage to go over $2,000. Honestly, I've seen some mortgages for nice condos that are like 250 grand, and the mortgage is like $1,700. So that's something I'm trying to aim for. Here is the thing. I have, done research, and I've been looking on Zillow, and I've been like looking at houses in different areas and seeing what I can afford for HOA fees and all these things. I also have been watching like YouTube videos, tips on looking for a home, what you need to consider. I do not want to go house poor when I decide to purchase a home, my first home. This is how people can go house poor. People don't take into consideration all of the things it takes to actually keep a home running. I'm pretty certain my older brother, does not watch my YouTube videos. So him and his wife purchased a home a couple of years ago, maybe like 4 years ago at this point. And I'm going to be very honest, they're not that good with money. They know they're not that good with money. And so they bought a home, and I think a year later, something happened with the electricity. And it was like $1,000 to fix the electricity, and they didn't see it coming. So they didn't take into consideration that, when you own a home, it's not just the mortgage, it's the mortgage, all of the utilities, and then home maintenance. It's like owning a car. My car right now, I don't have a car payment, and the engine comes with a 100,000-mile warranty, but it's just the engine. The rest of the car that the engine doesn't deal with, if those parts need repairs, that's still on me. So like the struts, the brakes, the brake pads, the control arms, anything. One of my windows needs to get replaced because there's a big crack in it. It's the passenger window. It's not the windshield. It's like one of the passenger windows. So it's not that big of a deal right now, but I would like to, because the crack I think is actually getting bigger. So I do need to replace that soon. That is not covered by the engine warranty. That's something separate. So I would have to pay for that out of pocket. But we all know that cars break down at some point, and you need to repair them. Instead of being shocked when you get a $1,000 bill to fix your car, that's why I have a sinking fund. So, and I also have other savings because that car sinking fund just gets wiped once a year, and then I always end up having to pay more. Anyway, we know that cars need maintenance, and the maintenance needs to get paid for somehow. So we should be saving money, a little money every month, just in case that day comes, and it does come, right? I know a lot of people right now are not in positions to do that, but there are a lot of people who are in positions to do that, and they don't. And then that $1,000 bill comes, and they're like, well, crap, what am I gonna do? So I don't want to be one alternator breaking down away from a major financial disaster. That's why I have that car maintenance sinking fund. And the same thing for homes. My apartment actually last year, or maybe the year before, needed the AC and the water heater needed to be fixed within like a couple of weeks of each other. Imagine if I owned a home, the water heater and the AC needed to be fixed. I don't even want to think about the cost. That would have destroyed me if I had moved into a home right now and I was still trying to like manage all these things. House maintenance, that's what I was trying to get at. House maintenance is expensive. That is like the real killer, along with insurance and property taxes going up every year, of how people go house poor. They don't take these things into account when they're looking for their home. So my budget, I want to stay under $300 or $300,000. Man, I wish. I want to stay under $300,000 for my future home, so that way I don't go house poor when I do finally move in. Did not know this, but my current landlord, he is actually a real estate agent, and he's a broker. So I was talking with him because the person who's in the apartment across from me, actually she already moved out. So he was showing the apartment, so he stopped by, we were talking, and he said like, hey, when you're ready to like move out and find your home, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you find one. Like, great. Now I don't have to spend all this time looking for a real estate agent and finding somebody who I can trust. So that was honestly one of my biggest worries. I trust my landlord. I've been in this apartment for 5 years. I would not have been in this apartment for 5 years if I didn't trust him. So I really do trust his judgment, and he's a really good person. I did ask him one question because this is something that kept popping up in the videos that I would watch on YouTube about housing, closing costs. No, well, I don't want to say nobody, but like a lot of people didn't see the closing costs coming, and it was not an extra expense that they were prepared to pay for. I asked him how much are closing costs typically, like what's an average range? And he said they're typically about 5% of the whole mortgage. I'm like, okay, great. He did tell me that I can, if I really wanted to, bake that into the loan so I don't have to pay for them up front. I don't know. I was actually talking with my dietitian about this. We talk about everything because everything is related to food. Everything is just related. So she said like, hey, listen, like you can also pay part of the closing costs and then include the rest into your mortgage. And then like it'll end up, because it'll be the whole mortgage, so it might end up being like an extra $20 a month, which is not that big of a deal. I don't know. I still haven't decided yet if that's the route I want to go or if I just want to pay for the closing costs up front. So this is my plan. I plan on saving $30,000 for the down payment on my first condo, my first home. So you guys are probably gonna be like, Yesenia, what you're gonna save? I really think I can do it. I really think I can do it. Now, I really hope that the state of my job is solid for the next 2 years, because that's really going to play a big factor into this, but that is the ultimate goal. I want to put at least 5% down, so that way it's more than the 3%, because I heard that you get a better chance of locking in, like you get a better chance of being picked if you offer more money up front. So yes, you can go with 3%, but 5% is better. So if I'm going for 5% of a $250,000 condo compared to a $300,000 condo, that range is going to be $12,500 to $15,000. And then I kind of want to save as the same amount for the closing costs. I think I can save 30 grand in a year or two. I really think so. And I can actually start saving this year for it, maybe, and then I'll save all of 2027. We'll see about 2028, but that number actually doesn't scare me. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I don't have cable. I don't need cable. We have streaming services, so I just buy a few and then I just watch YouTube the rest of the time. So I do watch a lot of YouTube, and I watched a lot of videos about saving money and how saving the first $10,000 is the hardest, because it's not the actual act of saving the money that's really hard. It's fighting the mindset. What you're fighting is years and years of behavior ingrained in your brain, and it's really hard to undo that. So in the beginning, when you're saving your first $10,000, you're trying to like tell your mind, we need to save the money, but your habits say, let's go spend it. Once you've reached 10,000, you're like, oh, well, now I can continue saving. So I've already exceeded that point. My savings, actually, let me do the math. I did it earlier, but I can't remember. So because I sent the money is already sent. I can't undo it. It's pending. On Monday, when it officially deposits, I'm going to have $15,676 in my savings account. So I've already surpassed that. So at this point, I'm like, great, I'm just going to. And this morning, it was literally the first thing I did. I sent the $826 I had planned to send to my savings, and I did it. Didn't even think about it. Didn't think twice about it. I'm still, of course, fighting behavior. Well, one, I've officially reached my weight loss goal. Yay! I wanted to lose 27 pounds and make it back down to 150, and I did that this morning. I weighed in at 149.7. Losing weight is the same as money. Fighting behavior. It took me so long because I had to fight behavior. Listen, I love eating sweets. Do not put a giant bag of chocolate in front of me. I will demolish the whole thing in one sitting and not feel any shame. So I really fought the behavior this week. I really stuck to the calorie deficit, and I lost a pound, 1.3 pounds. I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, it's fighting that mindset, fighting your old ways. Okay, let's get back on track. I forgot where I was going with this. So, saving $30,000 does not scare me. I wish I didn't have to pay off that stupid engine, but that's here nor there. It is what it is. I gotta stop complaining about it. So he said, yeah, up to 5%. So we'll see where that goes. I also want to think about moving costs. So U-Haul, movers, anything else that I need, etc. Because that is something when I first moved out into my first apartment, didn't think about. The U-Haul, moving everything, all the extra things. So I think I want to hire like a company and hire movers. They bring their own truck, they pack up my things, and then they all take it. So my dad said if when he checked prices when he moved out last year, it was like $1,000 for like 2 to 4 movers or something, and then for them to pack up everything and move. So I'm just gonna go with that number. I tried like looking online and comparing, but these websites wanted you to like submit your information for a quote, and I didn't want to do that because I didn't need that right now. So I'll just save $1,000 roughly for moving costs. I also want to take into consideration extra utility bills. When I moved into this place, I went from one apartment to this apartment. So that month I had to pay 2 electric bills and 2 gas bills. I want to prepare for that same thing when I move again. I also need to take into consideration the other utility bills that might pop up when I move out. So I looked the gas bill, the electric bill, water, trash, and then I put an other category to do like a catch-all of everything else that I may or may not have missed. But I think those are the 4 most common that we need to pay for. I also want to buy new furniture. So the important things that I want to focus on is a new mattress and a new bed frame, because my mattress is 12 years old. I would love to buy a new mattress right now, but hauling it in and out of this apartment, I think I'm just going to wait. I know that sounds gross, and I probably shouldn't do that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to do that. And then I want a nice bed frame because, it's my home. I currently have like a cheap $150 bed frame, and it just honestly keeps the mattress off the floor. So I want a nice one. I'm going to need a new couch. My current couch is the perfect size for this apartment, which means it might be too small for my new place. So I want a new couch, a new dining room table, a bigger one, depending if a kitchen island comes with it, maybe. So if it comes with a kitchen island and I don't have to get that, that's great. Some other things, so those are the top priorities. And then I might want to get a new desk, some extra side tables, a coffee table, maybe a new dresser. I do want a new makeup vanity and a TV stand or a new TV wall mount, whatever. So I do want to take into account these things when I'm furnishing my home. My new home, I do not want to buy all this stuff, put it on a credit card, and then end up paying it. I just don't want to do that. I'm tired of doing that. So I want to save up for that. So I did the math on all of these. So I ran down the numbers. So like I said, I want to save $30,000 for both the down payment and the closing costs. I want to save roughly $1,000 for movers. So here's the thing, I did some calculations. I Googled, and guys, we have Google. I tell my kids all the time when they ask me questions, and I tell them, you guys have the internet on your phone. Go Google it. Anyway, I Googled what are the average costs of utility bills in Chicago? So like what's the average that people are paying for what I'm looking for? So these are the averages for 1 to 2 bedroom condos in Chicago. The electric bill is going to be roughly the same as what I pay now, so $50 to $120. The gas bill, same, $50 to $150. The water bill might be $40 to $50 a month, so I gotta account for that. The trash bill might be $30 to $70 a month, and some of these bills I think said might be quarterly, so the trash bill might be quarterly. Some condos put the trash bill into the HOA fee, so that's something I gotta ask about. So on the low end, the utilities are gonna run me $170 to $200 a month. And honestly, I mean, I sometimes pay the low end $170 for both of my gas and electric bill. The high end might be $390 to $410. So I want to save for the utility bills an extra $800 to make sure that I have that covered. So $30,000 for the down payment and the closing costs, $1,000 roughly for the movers, and then an $800 to have on hand just in case for utilities. Home maintenance. This is where people get house broke. This is how it happens. So what did they recommend? I don't know what that number is, but for a 1 to 2 bedroom condo that is roughly $250,000 to $300,000 should be between $3,000 and $9,000 annually. So on a monthly basis, that would be $250 to $750 a month. So since I plan on saving my 6-month emergency fund first, I'm gonna stick to the low end when I first move out and save $250 a month until, you know, I get comfortable and figure things out, and then maybe I can like add to it. And then of course I'm gonna put all this money into a high yield savings account, so that way I can, you know, get the interest, and hopefully maybe the interest will help pay for it. Who knows? Okay, so that's it. So those are all the numbers that I ran for saving my financial goals, what I have planned for the future. So yeah, that's it. I plan on having the 6-month emergency fund fully funded by July. And then after that, I plan on paying off the iPad, and then I should have the car paid off by September or October, maybe November. And then I can start saving for the down payment on my first home. And then along with the other, did I have a furniture? I did not have a furniture. So so maybe I'll save like an extra, I don't know. Actually, I gotta look at some things and start like making a list of prices and seeing how much I want to spend. Maybe an extra $1,000 to $1,500 to buying the furniture pieces that I really want. And then, you know, I put the less important, like not as much of an necessity. So like these, I definitely want, like the bed, the mattress, the couch, the dining room table, possibly the kitchen island, and a coffee table. So those are like priorities, and then the rest I can like get later. So yeah, and then save an extra $1,000 for the movers, and then save an extra $800 for extra utilities, and possibly an extra $1,000 to $1,500 for new furniture and whatnot. So yeah, that's an update on all my financial goals. I have a lot going on. Please keep coming back if you want to see how, you know, how I'm doing it, and also see what's the state of my job next year, because I really don't know. I'm hoping and praying for the best, and I'm just going to keep writing my journal thoughts, and I'm just going to keep trucking along. There's 11 days left in the school year, and I can't wait. I am so tired. I am done. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day. Bye.